Assertively setting boundaries is a critical life skill. If you cannot say no to ice cream, alcohol, or that inner voice in your head that says you're worthless, you will not be able to say no to your children. Children need to experience firm, consistent limits so they can develop these skills within themselves. When we do not provide these limits, we unconsciously train our children to be victims or bullies. In this next session, you will learn the skill of assertiveness, which teaches you how to set limits with children so that they may also set limits with others. Welcome to the conscious discipline skill of assertiveness. So here's how we're going to start. We're going to start with a song because the brain is pattern seeking, and the song is going to be Three Nice Mice. So hold your hand up like this, and it's going to go three nice mice, three nice mice. We're going to go see how they care, see how they care. Hold both hands and give a shake. Smiling together, good friends we make. Then we're going to turn around, for goodness sakes. Three nice mice. So stand up and find a partner that you adore. And Vicki will be my partner. Get it, Donna? Here we go. Get into it.
Three nice mice, three nice mice. See how they care, see how they care. They hold both hands and give a shake. Smiling together, good friends they make. And turning around, for goodness sake. Three nice mice, all right now. Three nice.
All right, one more time. Get into it. Here we go.
Three nice mice, three nice mice. See how they care, see how they care. They hold both hands and give a shake. Smiling together, good friends they make. That's right. And turning around, for goodness sake. Three nice mice. All right now. Three nice mice.
All right. The icon for this skill is the miner's light. And the miner's light is there to help us remember this particular power, which is what you focus on, you get more of. So it comes from the power of attention, which says what you focus on, you get more of. So everyone say that with me. What you focus on, you get more of. And this is a big one again. So you're going to start being this month again. I want you to be conscious. Where do you place your focus? So Sandy, Polly, if you'd come down here, I'm going to show you two scenes, and I want you just to see where do we put our focus. So basically, we're just going to do a little, the first scene is Polly just pushed Sandy. Now, why did you push her? You know pushing is not nice. You know our rule about pushing? Was that nice to push? No. We don't push in this and in school. We don't push at home. We don't ever push. All right, now where is my focus? Pushing. And what you focus on, you get more of. So what am I going to get more of? Pushing. All right, so that, that's pretty clear. But if we think about it in our lives, we're constantly focusing on what we don't want, and we're going to get more of it. So now we'll do this scene again. If you guys come over here just a little bit further. All right, we're going to do it again, and I'm going to do it differently. All right, if you go ahead and push her. Well, she just pushed you with her hand. Did you like it?
No.
Tell her, Polly, I don't like it when you push me. Say that.
Polly, I don't like it when you push me.
Say move, please.
Say move, please. Move, please. Move, please.
Okay, now where's my focus? On move, please, right? So, that's where most of my focus is, on move, please. And what am I going to get more of? Move, please, or the language skills that she was teaching her. And I've actually used one child to teach another child some language skills they're going to use. Does everybody see the difference in those two? So thank you very much. So what you focus on, you get more of. Say that with me.
What you focus on, you get more of.
Here's a headlight, which is the miner's light again, that you can see, but this is one I really like, and I encourage that each of you to get one of these and wear it for a week. As a reminder to what you focus on, you get more of. And it really gets you reminded of, because what happens is, and this is an important thing to understand, what you offer to others, you experience yourself. So I'm going to say that again. What you offer to others, you experience yourself. So if you focus on what's wrong, what's not right, what's not happening, you're going to feel inadequate inside yourself. When you focus on what you want to happen, what they did do, then you're going to feel at peace within yourself. So again, it's a consciousness, and this is, of course, called conscious discipline. So these are great. So use that, wear it around, see what happens to you. But start being conscious of where you're placing your focus. Now, how many of you have tried to change your own behavior? Okay, so you're going to eat better, exercise more, blah, blah, blah. All right. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but one of the things I've tried to do in my life is cut back on the junk, cut back on the sweets and the sugar. So what happens is when we try to make a change, we must focus on what we want, because you cannot change behavior by focusing on what you don't want. Now, this is a big thing. I didn't say sometimes. I said you cannot change behavior by focusing on what you don't want. So let me give you an example. So let's say, using my life here, I'm going to cut back on sweets. No more sweets. I'm not going to eat that many sweets. I'm really going to cut back, stop the sweets. Now, when I say stop the sweets, or I'm not going to have any more sweets, see, our brain doesn't process like that. My brain hears only the word sweets. It doesn't hear, I'm not going to have any more of. So my brain hears the word sweets. Now, once my brain hears the word sweets, it mobilizes internal forces thinking, I'm going to a vending machine. So what happens when you try to change behavior by focusing on what you don't want, like I don't want any more sweets, you set your willpower against your own physiology. So here's how it works. So I go, okay, I don't want any more sweets. My internal biochemistry shifts thinking that I'm going to load up on sugar. So in essence, I've got a little bit low blood sugar thinking I'm just going to dump in a Snickers bar here. So what happens is automatically I start kind of dragging through the week, going, I'm not having any sweets, I'm not having any sweets. Now by Wednesday, I'm just kind of like, so to get a little oomph in my step, I start being righteous and judgmental. What are you eating? You know how many pounds of sugar the average American eats? You go to the grocery store and say, look at the junk in there, look what they're buying. You know, so then I start being judgmental. It gives me a little adrenaline. I get to feeling good, a little better than, so I get a little oomph. And then I make it all the way to Friday. And then I get to Friday because I'm dragging again because my willpower is going against my own physiology. So by the time I get to Friday, I go, you know, I've been good all week. I deserve a little treat. So then you get like a hot fudge brownie delight. And the first bite of it, you go like this, you go, oh. Because it kind of stabilizes your body because it's been wanting sweets all week. Now, the same happens with kids. Let's say you have a kid, and let's say also you have a child who's kind of impulsive. And you're going, no hit, no hits, no hits, no hitting, no hitting, no hitting. Now, the brain doesn't hear the no hitting, right? What does the brain hear? Hit. But here's the kid going, okay, I don't want to hit. You know, I'm not going to hit. I'm not going to hit. And, you know, and they drag themselves. They go, you know, I've been good for about 20 minutes now. I deserve a little treat. Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, whew, that's better. So if we actually were going to change ourselves, if I was going to change myself, instead of saying I don't want sweets, I would say I love fruits and vegetables. I mean, you'd actually walk around going, hi, I'm Becky. I love fruits and vegetables. Hi, fruits and vegetable person right here. You know, so I'm going to go around life doing, I love fruits and vegetables. And then when I go to the grocery store, instead of kind of fighting the candy line, I'll be drawn to produce. So the same thing happens with kids. So what we want to do with kids is that we want to make images for children of what to do. We've got to create images of what to do. This goes with the fact that young children, and again that's around 6 and under, young children do not have mature inner speech. In other words, they don't govern themselves by talking to themselves in their head. Most of you govern yourself by talking in your head. You're constantly going, well, you know, I'm going to park here because if I need to get out quick, I can go. Or I'm going to make sure that I don't tell her about her because she's going to tell her and it's going to come back to me, so I ain't going to say a word. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on this. We're constantly governing our behavior with our inner speech. Now, young children don't necessarily have all that chatter inside their head. And we do. I mean, right now, you're talking inside your head. I am sure you're talking inside your head. So I'm up here talking about assertiveness, and somebody in the back, if all this was broadcast out loud, if I put a little electrodes on your head, and all your little inner speech kind of came out loud, I'd be up here talking about assertiveness, and somebody in the back go, did I take the chicken out? And if you notice with little kids, they're always talking. So what governs young children? Now, again, I said 6 and under, but this could all the way go up to 9-year-olds. What governs their behavior is images in their brain, pictures. They're governed by pictures. So if I say no hitting, what picture do you have in your head? Hitting. If I say don't run, what picture do you have in your head? If I say don't talk to me in that tone of voice, what do you got? That tone of voice, right? You're making images of things you don't want, and images govern their behavior. So now, listen to this. Which one makes a better image? Listen to these statements. I'm going to give you some choices. Don't run. What did I just tell you? Walking feet, walking feet, walking feet. Or walk like this so everyone is safe. Which one gave you the best image? The last one. And of course, the ones like, what did I just tell you? You know better than this, give no images. I mean, that's like, hello. So when we're talking about being assertive, assertiveness does 3 things. First of all, you have to focus on what you want children to do. The second thing is you have to be clear and direct. And the third one, by your tone, it must say, just do it. Now, men do much better with assertiveness than women, much better, because they're more clear and they're more direct and they're talking. So here's how guys usually talk. Now, this is a generalization. It's not every guy, but guys usually talk like this. Get me a sandwich. I mean, it's short, it's clear, it's understandable. And here's what women tend to do. Honey, while you're up, could you get me a little something out of the fridge? And they'll go, well, what would you like? Doesn't really matter. Then they bring you something back and you go, pickles? You brought me pickles? So women have way more words. They tend to kind of talk around things. And sometimes that's very confusing for young children just because of the number of words. So let's say that we got young children, we're trying to go to bed, and then we got a home example, and they're like, honey, you've had a big day. Haven't you had a big day? Aren't you tired? You're just so tired from your big day. You want to wear your poo pajamas, or you want to wear your Billy Bob pajamas? What pajamas do you want to wear? We've had such a big day. You know, and Dad comes by, or he comes by and just go to bed. And you can just see the child go, bless you. So we want to be more clear and direct, and it's not because we as women are stupid by any means. It's because historically, especially in our country, women and people of color have not had a voice. So what we've learned to do is kind of come around the back door and sneak it back in backwards and sneak up the back way to be heard. And that worked for us for a while, but the thing is, we now have the opportunity to come straight up. And it's going to be a lot easier for our kids if we learn to come straight in. So we're going to tell children what to do. So if you're telling them what not to do, you're not assertive. We're going to use a clear and direct speech. Pick the toys up, put them away. We're also going to then have our tone, and the tone is a big issue because our tone, we have 3 tones. We have a passive tone, like this. Pick up the toys and put them away. Line up at the door, okay? Okay? Who can show me how to open their books to page 12? After a passive tone, you will hear these words. They're not spoken, but you will hear them. Is it all right with you if I do it? You don't really say it, but you can hear it. Can y'all hear it? Line up at the door, okay? And then we have the aggressive tone. Line up now. Get those toys now. And after an aggressive tone, you will hear this. You don't really say it, but it's implied. Or else you die. Now listen to an assertive tone. Line up at the door with your hands by your side, just like this. Did anybody hear, is it all right if you do it? Did you hear, or else you die? What did you hear? Just do it. And that's a tone. Now that's a tone that many of us, especially women, we have to find. And let me just tell you, it's not a tone. It's a belief in ourselves, and it's a sense that we deserve to be heard. So some of us got a little work to do. But it's important because assertiveness is how you set limits on other people's behavior. Assertiveness is how you teach people to treat you. And until we find our, quote, big voice, our assertive voice, then we're not going to actually be able to teach others how to treat us with respect. And assertiveness is the medium through which you teach respect. What you focus on, you get more of. And when you're upset, you're always focused on what you don't want. Now this is tough. So let me say that again. What you focus on, you get more of. And when you're upset, you're always focused on what you don't want. Now, I'm not talking a raving lunatic upset. I'm just talking an itty-bitty bit upset. And I would like for each one of you here and each one of you listening to this video, I'd like for you to think of the last time you were upset. I will guarantee you, whatever the different situations with all the people, is that you wanted someone to stop doing something, to quit doing something, to not do it anymore. You were focused on what you didn't want to happen. Stop doing this, quit doing this, but it was always the focus on what you don't want. That's why we start with composure. Because until we get composure, until we access our it's very difficult to focus on what we want children to do. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little pivot practice because we're always going to get upset. So when you get upset, you're going to be focused on what you don't want. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to pivot. You're going to have to pivot to actually what you do want. So what we're going to do is when you get upset, you're going to be a star. We're going to breathe and use the skill of pivoting, which means change your focus from what you don't want to what you do want. So instead of going, stop hitting, we're going to have to pivot and go, you wanted the marker. You may not hit. Say, may I have a turn? So we're actually going to do a huge pivot. So everyone take a breath with me. And then we're going to go and then say, pivot. Pivot. And here's what I do with myself. I go, Becky, you're upset. When you're upset, you're focused on what you don't want. Do you want more of this in your life? And if the answer is no, then I consciously pivot. Often I'll say, I don't care, they've got to pay. But at least I'm conscious of it. You know what I mean? It's not like we're going to get this perfect. Okay, so we move from here, and now we're going to go to an assertive command. An assertive command. And so we're going to tell children what we want them to do. So an assertive command involves all of our senses. So Wendy, would you come down and play with me? All right, here we go. So I'm going to have Wendy, and let me get a book out of here. Actually, I'll get the headlight. Okay, so I want Wendy, and this could be do anything, but in this case, I want Wendy to pick up the hat and put it over by the trunk. So that's what I want her to do. All right, now, often what we do is we holler from afar. Wendy, pick the hat up, get the hat. Come on, we got to go. Wendy, get the hat, get the hat, get the hat. All right, now, so we want to use all our senses. So first of all, we're going to use our kinesthetic sense. We've got to walk over, actually, to Wendy. I know we want to holler from a distance, but you have got to walk over to her. We want to wait till we get some eye contact. Now, let's say that Wendy's just dinking with her bracelet, so dink. And I'm over here. Wendy, Wendy, hey, Wendy, Wendy! So what we want to do is we got to walk over here. There you are. See, I waited. I'm going to touch Wendy. I waited on her. Do you see that? She was like, I waited. Wendy, pick up the hat and take it right over to the trunk. There you go. That's it. That's it. You got it. You're doing it right there. Put it right on top of the trunk. All right, you did it. Now, I used all my senses. I used kinesthetic. I went up to her. I used her name and I touched her. And auditorily, I told her exactly what I wanted to do. I used my hand. Pick it up. Put it over there. Line up with your hands like this. Let's go. Move it out. Move it out. Forward and aft. It's almost like a flight attendant. The more visuals, remember we're making images in our head, right? So you've got to put on your seatbelt. Seatbelt. Let's go. And if you watch teachers, they're just pros at this. I mean, you know, a good teacher is just constantly. And then, of course, energetically. We want to do it energetically. And energetically means that I'm having a loving, positive goal, knowing she will do it. See, love means without doubt. So if you go into a situation doubtful, like, oh, geez, then you're going to go into it passive or aggressive because you're scared. And then you're using discipline that relies on fear instead of love, which I know for you that you are capable of picking that up and putting it over there. And I'm going to be with you, and my job is to help you be successful. And when you get it there, I'm going to be all over it going, looky, 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 looky. But often we're so busy that we're not slowing down to do this. And if we don't slow down and do this, we're going to have children who are very, very disrespectful. Thank you. I saw Vicki Hepler, who's here, do this so brilliantly with her own daughter, Erin, at the week-long summer institute that I do each summer. And her daughter was there, and I don't know how old Erin was at the time, 5. And we were cleaning up, and Erin was going to run out the door before we were ready to go out. And there was a big traffic and all that other stuff. And she's just dinking with the door, and Vicki was over here, and we were talking. And Vicki tried a moment, you know, like, whoa, Erin, stay inside. Erin, stay inside. And we were talking, and she goes, oops, I lost her. It was a brilliant moment. She left my conversation. She walks over to the door where Erin is, waits for Erin to look, touches her and said, Erin, come on back inside and go stack some boxes right over there in the corner, and I'll be finished talking in a minute. But that was a moment she caught herself. I mean, she caught and said, oops, I lost her. And she went over there and reconnected.
Up the tree, down the tree, and then run to the gate. What? You're clean. Hey, Rashawn, we're going to go up the tree. Let's see, you have paint on there. Buddy. Ooh, there you are. We're going to go up the tree, then what? Down, and then what? Go to the gate. You know it.
Not all the time is this going to work, right? You're going to say, pick up the hat, put it on the shelf, and they're going to go, uh-huh. Surely you jest. Now, as soon as we tell them what to do, and then they don't do it, we start feeling powerless, right? When we start feeling powerless now, we are just kind of going to downshift from the frontal lobe, heading on down to the limbic system, heading on down. So we really do have to breathe, pivot, focus on what we want to do, and we're going to use the words that we learned in another session, which is, I'm going to. Say those with me.
I'm going to.
So again, Wendy, if you'd come back down. And this time, Wendy's not going to do it, but here's Wendy, and I'm going to say, and Wendy's just kind of dinking around, but I really come over here and I really give it my best shot. I come over here, I wait for her to look. Oh, there you are. Wendy, take the hat and put it right up on the trunk right over there.
Okay, in a minute.
Now, and this time I'm going to show you what I want you to do. There you go. That's it. You're doing it. There you go. Good for you. Right over there. Now, what I just did, so I'm going to break this down. So, Wendy, if you'd come back. I'll leave the hat. Here's what I did. I said, I'm going to show you what I want you to do, or I'm going to show you what to do. Say that with me. I'm going to show you what to do. I'm going to show you how to get started. Say that with me. I'm going to show you how to get started. Now, what I did was, again, I still have this positive sense of me, and I didn't like yank her. I'm going to show you how to, it was none of that. I really took my hand. I didn't hardly touch you, did I? I'm going to show you, and as soon as she started to move, I'm going, that's it, you're doing it. That's what got her, because she probably was going to head out the other door over there. So you weren't really going to pick it up, were you?
No, I wasn't.
And then I started going, that's it, you're doing it. And she's like, okay, there you go. I think I've got it. And that's the point, because that goes back to combining now assertiveness, encouragement, and composure. So I take a breath. I'm going to show you how to get started. Say that.
I'm going to show you how to get started.
Now, as the children get older, we can add another line, which is, what would help you get started? What would help you get started? So when they get to be 9, 10, and 11 and stuff, we're going to, well, what would help you get started? What would help you get it done? What would help you right now? What would help you get focused on your schoolwork as opposed to running around the outside of the room? What would help you? Well, there you go. Here, you're doing it. Move on. Thank you, Wendy. So once we learn how to be assertive with children, then it's time for us to teach children how to be assertive with others. And this is the beauty of this. See, we must be assertive with children, because once we are assertive, we hold the boundaries when they intrude on themselves or we hold the boundaries when they intrude on you or intrude on the limits of the school or of the household. We then teach them how to hold boundaries and limits on other children's behavior who are going to intrude on them. So this is very, very important that we learn this skill and we teach it to our children. So the way to do this, and if we'll have Polly and Sandy back here, the best way to do this is to start with tattling. I mean, tattling is just the greatest skill on earth. It's a teaching skill beyond belief, and you get plenty of opportunities. So basically what you want to say is, when they come tattle to you and say, he pushed me, everybody say that to me.
He pushed me.
Then the first thing you want to say is, did you like it? Say that with me.
Did you like it?
Now notice I didn't say, how did that make you feel? Because I don't want to put one child in front of the other ones. I'm going to say, did you like it? Because I want to hear their no answer. So if you guys be the child and say, he pushed me. Say that to me.
He pushed me.
Did you like it?
No.
Now I'm going to listen to the quality of your no. Because the quality of your no gives me an assessment about how much assertiveness energy this child has. So I'm going to use Sandy here. And I'm going to say, did you like it? And Sandy, I want you to give me a little whiny, pitiful no.
No.
Now, is that passive, aggressive, or assertive? Passive. Now, I can't leave her with a passive voice. I can't say, go tell Polly you don't like it. They'll go, you pushed me. And as soon as you turn, walk out there like, bam! Passivity invites aggression. Nor can she have a big old no. So this time I want you to give me a big old aggressive no. Did you like it?
No.
And here's how they do it. Hers was you can see aggressiveness is not Sandy's issue. However, it is mine, so I'll do it. So you tell me, did you like it?
Did you like it?
No. And they get a big old no. Now, aggression begets aggression. So I can't send this child off to say, go tell them I don't like it when you push me. They'll go, I don't like it when you push me. And then, of course, you walk away and they're like, blam, 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 blam. It doesn't end. You must have your assertive voice. You must have it. And you know this just by dealing with clerks in the store. Let's say you're going up to a clerk. You guys just stay right here. You go up to the clerk, and they're a passive person. Say they're in Sears or something, and they've overcharged your credit card. And you go up to the person, you say, you know, you've overcharged my credit card. I'd like to get this resolved. They're going like, well, I don't know how we do that because that's what it says in the computer. I mean, you're like, aha. Don't we get a little aggressive? Well, find someone who can, lady. You know? And now if you go up to that same lady and she's a little bit aggressive, you come up and say, I've got a problem. I've overcharged my credit card. You're going to have to wait your turn. You're going to have to say, I am busy now. What are you going to do? You're going to go, you're going to be busier once the manager gets out here and deals with this. But if you come up to that same person and they're assertive, you say, I've got a problem with my credit card. They'll go, I will make sure I find someone to help you. You're like, well, there you go. So we've got to make sure they do have an assertive voice. So here's what we're going to do. She touched me. What do you say? Did you like it? She came in my room. Did you like it? She's sitting on my side of the car seat. Did you like it? She bumped me in line. Did you like it? She ate my food in the lunchroom. Did you like it? She stepped on my foot. Did you like it? You got the gist of it. That's our line. Did you like it? And then what we're going to do is we're going to teach from that. We're going to say, did you like it? And then we're going to say, go tell Polly I don't like it when you eat my lunch food. Now, notice how I made the sentence so she could carry it exactly. I didn't say, go tell Polly you don't like it when she pushes you, because they'll go, you teacher says. You've got to give them the exact little sentence and the exact little tone that they can carry. So you're going to say, go ahead and push her one more time. Now, say I didn't see this, but I hear, she pushed me. Say that.
She pushed me.
Did you like it?
No.
Go tell Polly I don't like it when you push me.
I don't like it when you push me.
Now, then I'm going to tell her what she wants her to do. A conflict is never resolved until you end it with what you want. So I'm going to say, tell her, say, move, please.
Say, move, please.
Has everybody got it? You have to end with what you want them to do. Now, let's say she has a little teeny whiny voice. Did you like it?
No.
You're going to tell Polly, I don't like it when you push me. Say that now in a whiny little voice.
I don't like it when you push me.
Make your voice match mine. I don't like it when you push me.
I don't like it when you push me.
Okay, you're ready. I'll go with you. All right. So what you do is you stay with them until they can get their big voice, their assertive voice. Thank you very much. Now, one of the things I'm just going to share with you is a couple of little stories. I'm at a school, and every time I'm walking into the school, I have tons of opportunity to deal with this. And so I'm just really getting from my car into the office, and I got tons of opportunities. So I'm just trying to sign in as a guest. So I'm walking down the hall, and here's a kid walking down holding another kid in his arm like this, giving noogies. Now, one of the things about this situation is you always go to the victim first, right? Always go to the victim first. So here's this kid down here giving noogies. He's just walking down the hall like this. So here they are giving little noogies, and I'm walking by, and I come down, and so I'm going to talk to the kid that's getting the noogies. So I bend down like this, and I say, he's going like this on your head giving you noogies. I said, is that all right with you? And the guy goes, it's not too bad. And I said, well, it gets to the point where it's not fun, you can tell them, hey, let go, this is not fun. And then I walked off. I got about 3 steps, and guess what he said? Hey, let go, it's not fun. Then I walk on down the hall, and there's these little teeny little guys. Those were older. They were like 4th grade. And there's a little bitty guys, and they had on a backpack, and another guy was riding on the back of the backpack, so the strap was up here choking them to death. So I go to the one who's being choked, right? I don't go to the one who's hanging on the back first. I go to the victim first. And I go, there's a guy riding on the back. And the strap's up choking you like this. I said, do you like it? And he said, it's okay. And I said, well, if it gets to by a point where it's hard to breathe, you can say, it's not fun, let go. And then I took 3 steps, and what did he say? It's not fun, let go. So I give you a little words to get you started, but the words come in context of the situation. Each of the skills and powers in conscious discipline has a structure that you can use to help teach it, or a structure that goes into the classroom and can be used at home. In this case, the structure is the time machine. And what you do is, I don't know about you, but in my life, it's always nice to give a chance to do it over. And what the time machine is a chance to take a hurtful interaction, go back in time and do it in a helpful way. Haven't you ever just kind of want to take those words back and give it a better shot, even with our adult relationships? So when we find kids that are poking and shoving each other, we ask them, are you willing to do it differently? Are you willing to go back in time? So one of the things that we do, let's set this down. One of the things that we do is we have kids go, well, let's go back in time. So everybody here, roll it back. Let's roll back in time. And what we do is, Vicki, would you come down? And Kevin, would you come down, please? And let's say that Kevin and Vicki have had some kind of altercation. And so the time machine is a way to teach the exact language I just went over with you. Kevin, are you willing to go back in time and do it in a helpful way? Yes. Vicki, are you willing?
Yes.
Okay, so Vicki, you come around here and get on the time machine. Kevin, you get right here. So we've already done step 1. I've asked them both, are you willing? And they're both willing, so let's take a step. Put your feet there. Now the first step is to be a star. So let's take a deep breath and relax. Now we're ready for the next step, so take one more step on the mat. And now we're going to put our hands on our heart, and we're going to wish each other well. So you look at Vicki, Vicki, you look at Kevin, and wish them well. All right, and then send it out. Okay, and then look down here. Here's your next line. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, let's do it. And here's your words, Kevin. I don't like it when you push me. Say that to her.
I don't like it when you push me.
Please.
Please do not push me.
So what do you want her to do?
I would like her to ask me to move.
Oh, so say, please ask me to move.
Please ask me to move.
And Vicki, what do you say?
I can do that.
All right, and to finish this up then, let's do a handshake, some kind of uniting. All right. There you go. You did it. You did it. Thank you very much. And what this does, you see what we're doing. We're breathing because if they've been in a conflict, they're probably in the lower centers of their brain. We want to bring them from the lower centers to the to deal with their problem, solve it, come up with creative solutions, and put them in a memory that uses their whole brain for their success and their emotional intelligence. I want you to spend some time consciously focusing on where do you put your attention. Because what you focus on, you get more of. Say that with me.
What you focus on, you get more of.
And when you become upset, I want you to know that you're focusing on what you don't want. And if you don't take that moment to breathe and pivot, you're going to end up getting more of what you don't want. So we're going to focus on pivoting. This is a skill I want you to practice. I want you to practice pivoting from what you don't want, like Kevin did. I don't want you to push anymore, to what do you want them to do? I want you to say, move over instead of push me. And I want you to practice using your own assertive voice, specifically telling children what to do clearly, directly, in a tone that says, just do it. And a lot of people think that's rude, but listen and see if you think I'm rude. Pick up the toys and put them on the shelf. Does anybody hear anything rude about that? Hop in the back seat of the car and fasten your seatbelt just like this. Does anybody hear rudeness? Line up, walking safely with your hands by your side, just like this. Is that rude? No. Bully prevention begins with victim empowerment. So until next time, I wish you well.